Brian Miller, file 21-0222SM. Counsel, identify yourself for the record.
Daniel, we have Nancy Miller.
Mr. Miller is outside, and I think he's got some traffic. We're going to mute him here for a second. Mr. Duke, what's your client's preference regarding the bond violation?
Matthew was going to admit to missing total. However, I knew of at least 2 missed tests, but maybe, including the third one.
Let's go ahead and unmute him then. There we go. He's in his car now. That'll be helpful. Mr. Miller, will you unmute yourself now? We muted you because we were getting a lot of outside noise.
All right. Figured it'd be better if I was in the truck.
Yeah, that's a lot better. Although I'm not certain how we're hearing you because it says you're muted. That's unusual. So, Mr. Miller, your attorney says that you're planning on admitting to the bond violation. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Put your right hand where I can see it, please.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
Turn your video up. Is that
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
I can't hear you.
you saw me? Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can put your hand down now. Has anyone promised you anything or threatened you in any way to get you to plead to this when you really do not want to?
No, sir.
Understand your right to a hearing and you decided to waive it?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to violating your bond conditions? Guilty, not guilty, or stand mute?
Guilty.
Do you acknowledge you're on bond to the 75th District Court, the underlying charge is for destruction of property over $200?
Yes, sir.
One of your bond conditions is you're supposed to test as requested. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Test on June 18th, June 30th?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, you're cutting in and out, sir.
We're going to put you back on mute here for a second. Mr. Duke, if I comply with the rule on an adequate factual basis?
Yes, sir.
I believe I have as well. I find that the plea has been made knowingly, understandingly, voluntarily, and accurately will enter in as violation of bond terms. Ms. Branson, you're covering for Mr. Alexander today. Is that correct?
I am, Your Honor.
All right. Did he leave any notes regarding his recommendations?
Your Honor, I was able to talk to Mr. Alexander about this case. I actually just met with Mr. Miller last week, or 2 weeks ago anyway, regarding his upcoming sentencing. I did the PSI and we'll be preparing that. But I did have a chance to talk to Mr. Alexander. I think at this point, we've come to a conclusion that we'd like to see how he does for the duration of his bond. And I will make an appropriate recommendation at the time of sentencing based on how he does between now and then. When I met with Mr. Miller, he didn't seem to have an interest necessarily in probation. So quite frankly, it could just be how much time of jail is recommended depending on how he does.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Miller, we'll have you unmute your phone again real quick.
All right.
So,
can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Branson is the one that's going to be writing the report, suggesting to me what we should do. You've not done very well at all on bond. So, talk with Mr. Duke about this. What we're going to do is see how you do between now and your sentencing date. You may end up just getting a jail recommendation, because if you're not going to follow the terms on bond, there's no way you're going to follow the terms on probation. So you might want to think about your actions before you get to sentencing.
Yes.
All right. We'll be adjourned then on this case. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Duke, was that it for you this afternoon?
It was, Your Honor. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, I see Miss Maxwell. This is an arraignment. Let me just pull up the file.
Your Honor, this is actually a motion to suppress, not an arraignment.
I see a motion, but I also see it listed as an arraignment. Let me figure out why that is.
There's amended charges, Your Honor.
That's what I was wondering. We're a few minutes early.
No problem. So you said it was an amended charge, Your Honor?
Yeah, it looks like they added a second offense.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'm going to